In November of 2025, Omega introduced a redesign of the Planet Ocean 600 meter, featuring the biggest slate of changes to the model since its introduction in 2005. With this take, the Planet Ocean has been redrawn from top to bottom with a new case, a set of dimensions, a movement update, a new bracelet, and the deletion of one of the most divisive features. This is now the 4th generation of the Planet Ocean, and I have all 3 of the colors in my possession to share my take on this update. The Seamaster's collection of divers has always been loaded with options. There is the heritage DNA of the Seamaster 300, then you have the best-selling helium escape valve wave dial of the pop culture relevant Diver 300M, and then you have the Planet Ocean, which was released in 2005. And it quickly established itself as the professionally capable 21st century take on Omega's dive watch formula, with superb water resistance and a distinctive visual character. The first gen Planet Ocean utilized Omega's Caliber 2500, an ETA 2892 derived base movement modified with the coaxial escapement. What really catapulted the PO into collecting discourse, though, was its status as the most prominent watch worn by Daniel Craig in Casino Royale in 2006. The film featured a serious, fresh, and rugged Bond, removing the campy tone of some previous films. In many ways, the Planet Ocean was the perfect representation in the catalog to be featured, and subsequent generations launched in 2011 and 2016 saw refined in-house movements, stylistic tweaks, and most notably, supersized case dimensions, with the last generation's case height reaching a towering 16+ millimeters. Countless iterations on the Planet Ocean theme include chronograph models, GMTs, and world timers, and even saw the use of case materials like titanium and colored ceramic. But the 4th generation takes a clean sheet approach to reinventing the lineup. The collection is available in 3 primary colors in stainless steel, with black, blue, or orange ceramic bezels, and minor detailing separating each color. So the Omega Planet Ocean was not only one of the most important watches of 2025 for Omega, but also for the broader industry when looking at the genre of dive watches. But if you want to see other watches, 40 watches in total that were the top picks of 2025 for our entire team, check out the link in the description down below to our full book covering the top 40 watches of the year. This is an actual physical copy book that we've made a digital version at the time of recording this. I don't know if we have any physical copies left of the book, but if you want to get a digital version of this book, it is free to get. Just create a profile on teddybaldisser.com. All of the pages are going to be designed by our team, the photographs done by our team, the write-ups by our team, and this was something that was a lot of just back and forth within our entire writing staff to try to really figure out what were the top 40 watches of the year. A lot of this is opinion, of course, but if you guys want to see what really caught our eye throughout 2025, a link will be in the description down below. Highly recommend it. I really appreciate all the support in the physical copy as well in purchasing that. But if you do want the digital form, check it out in the description. So now transitioning back to the Planet Ocean, going into more detail, the case is where you're gonna notice the biggest changes to the Planet Ocean's appearance, with its razor-like angles replacing Omega's trademark lyre lugs found across the catalog, including the Seamaster 300M and the Speedmaster, of course. The sharp facets are executed more in a straight line pattern rather than the curving of other Omega watches. The style is a callback to the tonneau case Seamaster 120 from the 1970s, nicknamed the Baby Ploprof, with an integrated look that also influenced the new Planet Ocean's bracelet. More on that to come though. Dimensions check out at 42 millimeters in diameter, the size where the original Planet Ocean was introduced. However, it is the other 2 dimensions that will be favorable for those who fear that this might be too large for their wrists. Now these new POs come with tight lug-to-lug dimensions of 47.5 millimeters, and for reference, that is essentially in line with the length of the Tudor Black Bay 58, a watch commonly praised for its mid-size wearability. Further, the case height is another area where the redesign pays big dividends, ironically, by getting smaller. Now, by saying it is just 13.79 millimeters tall, you might get a couple eye rolls, but remember, this is a professionally rated 600-meter diver watch and far slimmer than the previous iterations of the Planet Ocean, which saw case thicknesses of more than 16 millimeters. In short, this is probably the best wearing Planet Ocean Omega has ever made, and that includes the 39.5mm versions, as this is around a 0.5mm thinner. Finishing on the stainless steel case shows a blend of brushing on the lug tops and case sides, with a wide polished bevel in between. A flat sapphire crystal guards the dial below, with Omega's anti-reflective coating on both sides, some of the best in the business, I might add. The audibly loud 120-click bezel also sees some big changes. With an all-business serrated profile for better grip, and the polished ceramic insert is now wider and simplified from some of the more recent multicolored versions. The available colorways in black, a medium blue, and the signature Planet Ocean orange come with a white ceramic diving scale and an applied lume pip at 12. The orange model is priced higher than the black or the blue versions by $300, whether on a strap or a bracelet, due to a more difficult manufacturing process required to achieve this precise orange hue. At 3 is an aggressively textured signed screw-down crown surrounded by fully integrated crown guards. Looking at the opposite side of the case, one former detail is noticeably absent: the helium escape valve at 10. At the time, it was a necessary feature for saturation diving, but now with the reintroduced case sealing found in models like their Ultra Deep using an inner titanium ring, this evolution made the use of the helium escape valve not necessary to sustain its performance. And speaking of titanium, Omega has stuck to the professional diver script with the inclusion of a solid Naiad type caseback in titanium. Decoration is sparse, with a minimalistic etched rendition of the Seamaster Hippocampus standing in for more intricate versions found in older models. From a decoration point of view, this is certainly a step backwards, but that said, it was done to thin out the case. And if you look at the side profile of the current versus the former Planet Ocean, you can see that with a shallowed engraved case back, the case could sit significantly lower on the wrist. For me, I will take a thinner case over a more decorated case back in a watch like this every day of the week. As for the means of attachment, the new Planet Ocean is available with a rubber strap featuring an integrated steel end link, or a 3-link bracelet with the same integrated look. Despite the appearance, you can wear the PO on a standard 21mm strap by removing the end link, which will give the watch a more traditional profile. That said, the end link doesn't add much of anything to the wear, given it shoots straight down. The center of the rubber strap is textured and recalls the bracelet center links, terminating in a fold-over clasp. It is available in black across 3 colorways and in orange for the orange model. Of course, with the bracelet, there's a whole lot of that baby Ploprof attitude on tap, down to the thinner and flatter profile of the links that syncs up with the vibe of the vintage model. The outer links are brushed, and the wider inner links get a full polish, a look that some might love, while others may wish for a more tool-like appearance. Regardless, the bracelet offers a wide range of fit options with almost 10mm of on-the-fly sliding adjustment, and that doesn't include a diver's extension, bringing the total to more than 30mm for wearing over a wetsuit. Although there are some significant updates to the dials, this is where you'll see many familiar touches that keep with the Planet Ocean of the past 2 decades. A sub-collection that can certainly be felt when looking at these dials is the Ultra Deep series, as in many ways, these look and feel like they're much more wearable younger siblings. One thing you might also notice immediately is the decision to omit the date window, a feature present on earlier models. Whether this is important to you is up to your own preference, but the symmetry that comes with this move makes for a nicely balanced dial, and it keeps with the professional attitude of the Planet Ocean. Because after all, the last question on my mind, if I was ever hundreds of meters below the water surface, would be, what date is it again? The rhodium-plated handset maintains that revered broad arrow style found on the Planet Ocean since its inception, with green superluminova on the minute hand and blue on the hour and spear-pointed seconds hand. All 3 variants get a matte black dial surface for low reflectivity, applied Arabic numerals at the cardinal points, and lume-filled applied trapezoids elsewhere with higher faceted edges to match the case. The Arabic numerals are a classic Planet Ocean touch with a style that mashes up old and new, the open 6 and 9 of the original Planet Ocean, and the more squared off numerals of the 3rd generation. The numbers are finished according to the colorway: matte orange for the orange bezel, matte white for the blue, and rhodium plated on the black bezel version. Dial printing is in white on all variants, offering connected minute markers with the Seamaster script logo in professional, along with the applied Omega logo word mark below 12, and above 6 are 3 lines of text touting the Planet Ocean's movement prowess and water resistance rating. Much has changed with Omega's movement caliber since the introduction of the Planet Ocean 20 years ago. And the newest Planet Ocean gets the caliber 8912 as its power plant, the same one found on the inside of the Planet Ocean 6,000 meter Ultra Deep and the Seamaster 300. In the Omega Divers hierarchy, the 8900 series indicates 2 barrels rather than a single barrel in the 8800 series. There is a step up in power reserve of 5 hours, but the real reason for introducing 2 small barrels is to maintain a gradual drop in torque and more consistent energy down the drivetrain to the escapement. Of course, the 8912 performs as a movement should within a flagship model for one of the world's biggest brands on the watchmaking stage, with master chronometer certifications by Metas putting the fully cased up movements through a variety of torture tests. It features the coaxial escapement that was pioneered by Dr. George Daniels, and it runs at a rate of 3.5 hertz or 25,200 vibrations per hour, has a free sprung balance with a silicon balance spring, and boasts a 60-hour power reserve aided by the twin barrels mounted in series. Besides its excellent chronometry of 0 to plus 5 seconds per day, the 8912 offers elevated magnetic resistance of 15,000 Gauss, a point of pride of many of Omega's modern day movements. My favorite feature though in the movement is the independently adjustable hour hand, and the absence of a date in the process makes for an amazing combo when traveling. In fact, timekeeping remains uninterrupted during adjustments, meaning you don't have to hack your watch to make the change. All you do, unscrew the crown, then pull it out to that second position and have bi-directional setting of that local hour hand. Great touch. As stated before, the 8912 is hidden behind the solid titanium case back, but Omega decorates it in its trademark style with Geneva waves and arabesque on the rotor and on the bridges. You have blackened screws and red infilled engraving. So I've had a lot of time to really think about my take on these new Planet Oceans. I was able to see these slightly before the unveiling of these to the public. And when I first tried them on, I was shocked because I saw this very similar to most people. You see the specs and then you try them on, 2 very different things when it comes to the Planet Ocean. This wears like no other Planet Ocean that I've tried before. So when trying to wrap all this up, I think we should talk about the context of the other diving pillars from Omega. So with a retail price starting at $8,600 on a strap for the Planet Ocean, going up to $9,500 for the Orange on bracelet, Planet Ocean is certainly a more premium offering compared to the Diver 300M, with that one starting at $6,300 on a rubber strap, and the Seamaster 300 coming at $7,600 on a strap. Now this has been the case for a while, as the Planet Ocean has always been seen as the more modern and professionally capable sub-collection of Omega's divers. Yet despite this, it has always lagged behind the Diver 300M success. And I'm gonna be frank with you, I've never really been that much of a fan of the Planet Ocean series. I mean, I have liked them, but I have just never been able to see myself ever owning one in comparison to the Diver 300M and the Seamaster 300, especially for my wrist size. Now with this new Planet Ocean though, for the first time, I am more intrigued to actually own one. The look is more uniform and balanced with a no date and a drop of the helium escape valve. There is an element of identity that came with the helium escape valve, and I think we should acknowledge that, but I am somebody that prefers this watch without it. And I know I'm not alone with that because I see constant comments about people wanting it to go away. And in typical internet fashion, I bet some of those popular comments on this video are gonna be about how they miss the helium escape valve all of a sudden. That's just how things go. Now the case is the most aggressive of any Omega diver, although it feels appropriate given the positioning of the Planet Ocean. I like the more aggressive side facets of the case. The bracelet is well finished and has superb micro adjustment. That said, the center link being high polish will show wear considerably over time. And for a watch like this, it does feel a tad out of place. This watch just screams more utilitarian tool compared to some of the other Omega divers. I know that's somewhat silly to say about a $9,000 dive watch, but that just is what this watch feels like to me. The dial looks fantastic, especially with the blue and orange with their block numerals, and then the case size. This is a massive improvement and was the biggest reason for me to never consider the Omega Planet Ocean in the past, as even the 39.5 millimeters was a little thick for what I would prefer. And it's really weird for me. I'm looking down at an Omega Planet Ocean. There's no overhang. You can kind of slide it underneath some cuffs, not the tightest of dress cuffs, but it's not out of bounds. I mean, it actually sticks the landing in wearability, and that's so new for the Planet Ocean series. I think if I had to summarize this Planet Ocean in one sentence, it would be this: Omega, with this update, has maintained the Planet Ocean's professional capability without this pursuit getting in the way of everyday wear for many collectors. The Planet Ocean was historically a niche pick among Omega fans. We have to remember this. It's never intended to be a huge mass market mover compared to something like the Diver 300M. That said, with this update, I see this becoming increasingly popular, and I think it's a welcome update for those that are looking for a Planet Ocean that could just be more viable for everyday wear. But all right, guys, that is my take here looking at the new Omega Planet Ocean. I'm actually a big fan of this watch. The price and positioning compared to some of the other divers might not make it the most popular of Omega dive watches out there, but with these updates, I think you're going to be seeing more Planet Oceans out in the wild than you did in the past. I actually really like the way that this wears, and if you're somebody like me that was on the fence of being able to pull off an Omega Planet Ocean, give this one a shot. You might be pretty impressed. What do you guys think? Do you like this watch? Do you not like this watch? Leave some comments down below. I know there's probably some owners of this piece already. I'd love to see those comments in addition to that, especially if you were not a Planet Ocean fan before this new generation. If you enjoyed this video, please give this one a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Really do appreciate that. Also check out TeddyBalderson.com, full authorized dealer for over 35 brands, including Omega. Every purchase from our website comes with quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. In addition, the best way to allow us to keep doing what we're doing here and supporting the content is through buying a watch. We know you can buy a watch in a lot of different places nowadays, but it allows us to keep doing what we're doing here. We love what we do. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.